Hello friends, welcome to my videos. So in this video we are going to discuss about how to find accommodation in Canada. So before I proceed further, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe because I regularly upload videos. And if you have any concern, any question, anything that you want to ask, please feel free to put as a comment and also write down what exactly you want to see in future videos so that I can accommodate your request in my future list. Alright, so let's proceed. So when it comes to Canada, when you come here, you definitely need accommodation. It could be a short-term accommodation, it could be long-term accommodation, and it could be a permanent accommodation when you move here permanently. So based on the purpose, we need to find. If you are coming to visit Canada, like let's say for tourism purpose, then you are gonna use the exactly same channels that you use anywhere in the world. Like you can search for hotels, hostels, and now you have options like Airbnb too. So you can go through all these options and see what exactly suits you, what exactly is near to the place you want to visit. For example, if you want to go to Niagara Falls, you will see that your accommodation is how much far from the horseshoe fall, and depending upon that you can take a call, cost, facilities, everything. So that is like for tourism short term. Also, you can look for Airbnb where people rent their places for short-term visits where you can save some money, but be careful about that. All right. Next thing is, suppose you are coming here for a long-term or permanent, so you need an accommodation. So there are various options. The one I would like to discuss is you can go for apartment, then you can go for uh, condos. You can even rent basements of individual houses, and another option with you, like if you, let's say you are bachelor and you are coming here for long term, or if you are a student and you need accommodation, let's say for a year or two, so in that case you can even like share your room with somebody. So what are the ways to look for these ads, these things? So there are certain things, like if you go online you can look for websites like Kijiji. You can look for like rentforyou.ca. There are various other websites. What I want to say is, like, go for internet and search where exactly you need, see for the budget, and check what are the things included, because when you rent an apartment you need to read your lease agreement very carefully. And this is true for any other thing, like if you rent a basement, if you rent a condo, anything you rent, read what are the things included in your rent. Because what happens, like in some apartments you got to pay for hydro extra. At some places you gotta even pay for heat too. So see what are the things included and what are things excluded, so that you can get an exact idea. Because if I put a quotation of, let's say, rent 1100 for my apartment, but what if you have to, if you gotta pay hydro extra, water extra, insurance extra, and so if we keep on adding this cost, the total bill would be higher than what you expect. So when you apply for any apartment, condo, make sure what is included in the rent and what is not. Now, one more thing I would like to discuss here is that some apartments, uh, they don't come on internet. So what you got to do, like suppose you come here and you find your temporary accommodation, let's say for a few months at a place. You are probably sharing with your friend or anybody else. Then when you're looking for your apartment, just walk around your neighborhood if you want to stay in the same neighborhood, or find out the locality where you are gonna live and look for apartments yourself. Because many owners, they post ads outside of their house, and many rental units also, they have a board where you get the phone numbers of rental units, I mean rental offices. They also sometimes put information about any available vacancy or not. So if you see anything is available, just call them and inquire if that suits your needs, suits your budget, and you can ask them any question you want, and make sure you visit. Because when you see any online ad first you make sure that the property and the ad is genuine, because anybody can put a fake online ad also. So beware of this. Do not get scammed by any uh, person. So go and see the property, check the property, make sure everything is in its place and you are renting it correctly, and then go ahead. And also when you rent, make sure you read your lease agreement very carefully. You should be aware of what are your rights, what are your limitations, what you can do and what you cannot do. Always make sure that you follow these things. Also in Canada, what happens, like at most of the places, you got to pay 1 month rent in advance. This is actually called your last month rent. So for example, if you stay, let's say, at an apartment for 15 months, so when you join that time you're going to pay 2 months rent. One is going to be used for your last month when you leave, and one that you rent in advance. Another very important point to note, that most of the apartments, most of the people rent, uh, the cycle of renting begins on first of every month. So based on this, you can plan, but it's not necessary. If you're looking for short-term rentals and if you're sharing with others, this may not be applicable to you. And when you are renting directly with owners like basements and all, still they can rent it anytime they want to. So that is also uh, a fact that you should be aware of and apply accordingly. Another very important thing that you have to see is, like, whatever you're gonna rent is gonna be unfurnished or furnished, because that is also something that may affect your pocket. Of course, like if I'm moving to an apartment, I'm new to Canada and I have nothing any furniture, and I definitely need it. When I go, I have to buy that, so that may affect. So keep these points in your mind, your needs, what you have and what you are gonna buy, so that you can look for a place that suits you. Also a very important need that you should look for is connectivity. How far is your place from nearby shops, markets, hospitals, and most important, your workplace? Or if you're a student, your college, your school, how far it is, and how you're gonna make it, like how much time you're gonna stay in transit. These are the factors you should always consider when you look for an apartment, because when you decide about a neighborhood, a locality where you are gonna stay, these are the things that should come in your mind. And that's how it works. One more fact I would like to tell you here is that that generally happens with rental agencies, but even individual landlords can ask you. Like some of them want you to have some reference, or they may would like to check your status. For example, they may ask to submit some work related documents, so that they can actually see if you are capable to uh, pay your rent or not, and then they approve based on whatever you submit. So these are the certain things they may ask for, but not everybody asks for it. Like, when, of course I can understand, like when you are coming for the very first time, definitely you may not have something. So but so as I said, not all of them, but if you have a job in your hand, then this is definitely not gonna be a problem. If your salary is good, you can apply for any apartment, and definitely your landlord or your rental agency is gonna observe that, gonna find out, okay, yeah, you have this much income, you can easily pay for it, so they approve it right away. This is how it works. And this is how it works. And yes, in Canada, rent varies a lot based on the locations. In some cities, it's way lower than others. In Toronto, in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and any other major city, it's very high nowadays, and the price is increasing. But if you go to small towns and other remote communities, the price is down, and that is expected. We know that how these marketplaces and prices work. So the same thing is applicable here as well. So I hope you like this video. Make sure to give it a like and comment, and if you have any concern, any question, anything, you can ask. And if you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.